Welcome to the Diversity Report podcasts, where we interview today's movers and shakers and diverse change makers. I'm your podcast host, Deborah Levine, editor of the American Diversity Report. And with me today is Vincent Ivan Phipps. Vincent is a speech coach, author, and owner of Communication VIP Training and Coaching. Vincent is the recipient of the highest earned professional speaking recognition awarded by the National Speakers Association called the CSP, Certified Speaking Professional. Welcome, Vincent.
Thank you, Deborah. It is an honor to be here, and thank you for considering me a mover and a shaker. I am honored. Thank you, Deborah.
Absolutely. You are both, and not to mention the change maker.
Throwing a third one. Okay, author, change maker, mover. Can you be a mover without being a shaker?
In your case, it's a full package.
Well, it is an honor, Deborah. Thanks for allowing me to be on the American Diversity Report. Thank you.
Oh, a pleasure. So tell our audience a little bit about yourself, how and why all this has come to pass.
The company name, Deborah, is Communication VIP Training and Coaching, and the VIP encapsulates what we teach in very important people skills or very important presentations. The VIP, Deborah, they also represent my initials, Vincent Ivan Phipps.
Love it.
The things that we love most as a keynote speaker or a coach or a workshop facilitator, our passion is in making sure that people look and sound at their professional best.
Ah, wonderful. How did you get started in this?
I was pre-law, and I ended up winning a debate because of my presentation skills. And my opponent, who was a phenomenal researcher but a horrible speaker, was defeating me. And in the last round, I became very prolific and theatrical, and I used my elocution and articulation on stage to appeal to the judge and to the jury. And I was able to win the debate because of my presentation skills. And my opponent asked me if I would help him improve his speech skills, and I found so much joy in it. I dropped out of law. I changed my major to communication, and I've been teaching speech coaching and presentation skills ever since.
Wonderful story. And you are a storyteller, are you not?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We have a storytelling background between you and I. We were a storytelling tag team back in the day, Deborah.
And I'm sure we will be at some point again. It was wonderful.
Look forward to it.
So tell me, where have you been speaking lately?
I've had the honor of speaking in over 400 American cities, Deborah, and 8 foreign countries. Most recently, I've returned from London and from Maui, Hawaii. I'm scheduled to speak in Sweden and also in Munich, Germany in 2018. Some of my local clients include Tennessee Valley Authority, the Tennessee Aquarium, and Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Wonderful.
Yes, ma'am. It's an honor.
It's amazing. You're on the road quite a bit from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Well, this year, Deborah, I had the honor of being asked to speak 55 times this year, all across the country and internationally. And I have 6 aunts, and all of them are phenomenal cooks, Beverly and Deborah. And whenever we get together and we have the opportunity to have family over, there's a joke in our family, Deborah, about it doesn't matter what you cook. You can't call it a specialty unless somebody else asks you to cook it. So one of the things I found out is that as a professional speaker, what brings me the most joy is not getting asked to speak, Deborah. What brings me the most joy is getting asked to come back. That's when you know you made a difference, and that's what I look forward to the most in my career, of having the honor of being asked to return for more training or to speak again. That's the joy of knowing you're making a difference for your clients, and that's what motivates me to do this so much. I love it.
Wow. I know that you've been coaching people to be better.
23 years.
Yeah. How many?
23.
Many? Oh my goodness.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I know that
I only feel 25. That's why I don't know how that number can be that high.
And the sense of humor, of course, that goes with all of this. And the great laugh.
Well, you're too kind. Thank you, Deborah. You're too sweet.
So we've talked about your coaching, and you're helping others do and take the path that you've taken. And I know
Yes.
that you coach many different kinds of people with lots of
Yes,
different
ma'am.
personalities and styles. Tell us a little bit about the diversity of your clients.
Well, first, if it's okay, I would like to just share with people and with all of your listeners, Deborah, why it's so important to even understand the impact of being able to speak well. Is that okay?
Go for it.
Most people will look at something that I do, such as being on stage in front of hundreds or thousands of people, as a speech. And statistically, most people are terrified to be on stage. Most people would rather be burned alive, Deborah, than to give a speech. And it's horrible. And one of the things I try to help people understand, if you look at the diversification of the types of speakers, all diversities, men, women, the generations, regardless of your socioeconomic background, whether you are your sexual orientation, whatever your religious preference, everybody's afraid to talk, Deborah. Everybody's scared to speak. And it's bad. I don't get it. So that's the only thing we can agree upon, is that no matter what color you are, everybody hates to talk about it. The problem is that everybody has to speak in some capacity, whether it's leaving a voicemail is a speech, a job interview is a type of presentation. If you have to go to court, you are on stage. If you have to ask for a raise or defend your point of view, or even if someone asks, why should I hire you? Or why should I trust you? Or if you want to propose to someone, that's a presentation. That may be your most important. That's your most important speech ever. So it's not just being on stage. There's so many attributes that impact our personal and our professional careers. You have to be able to look and sound polished, so that if you want to get credit for being competent, you have to look and sound confident.
Wow. I'm thinking over the presentations that I've made, and there's a whole lot more to add to that category than I realized.
Absolutely. The diversity behind it, Deborah, is that most people who go online to improve their public speaking skills, or they take one class that on average lasts 3.5 months, or they join an organization that only catches their problems but doesn't give them corrections. There are 4 different types of diversifications in a person's speaking style, Deborah. And most people don't even know their own speaking style. So they may be taught skills and techniques that don't fit with their learning style. And the same way you may teach health to a person who may be obese, they're going to have a different type of health need than somebody who is anorexic. If you want to teach how to be more aggressive, if you are a man who is 6'10", you're going to have a different approach than if you are a female who may be 5'5". So the way to improve your speaking skills is to first understand the diversity, that there are different types of speaking approaches, speaking patterns, speaking styles, speaking rhythms. There's different types of audiences. So the first thing I recommend that people do if they want to improve their speech skills is to understand that there are diversities and different types of speakers. And there's 4 major ones, Deborah. And in my book, Speak Like a Pro, and in my book, Lead Out Loud, I teach that there is the energetic, the ease, the expert, and the efficient speaker. And you have to understand which type you are before you start to improve and which type you want to be.
Which type are you?
I'm a combination, and most people are a combination of at least 2. I am an energetic and an expert speaker. I'm a combination.
I would say so. Yes, you definitely are.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And each of these speaking styles, Deborah, has a strength and a weakness when they're on stage. or when they're giving presentations. And unfortunately, if you are unaware of the uniqueness of your style, you will learn techniques that are counterproductive, which could make you more nervous on stage, which could make you lose your place in speeches, and can make you sound less coherent and less intelligent. And you're thinking, well, the speaker told me to stand on stage and to think of the audience naked. Why am I more nervous? Because that didn't work for you. That's why.
I've heard that piece of advice, and I chose
I
to
know.
ignore
I'm
it.
thinking, oh my goodness, that is so horrible. You know, there was this chocolate that was once out, Deborah, about probably 10 years ago, and it was said if you eat this type of chocolate, it burns fat and you will lose weight. Well, they told this to the wrong type of people, and everybody went out and bought chocolate bars and gained weight. Like, well, that's the wrong kind of chocolate. You have to eat the chocolate. And then people out there, I don't get it. This is the easiest diet ever. Yeah, until you get on the scale.
I think I could go with the chocolate better than the nude audience, though. I will say that.
I get it. And you have to be able to know what type of technique and approach will get you better, because speaking, just like diversity, it is not a one-size-fits-all.
My goodness, this is very definitely food for thought. Chocolate, perhaps.
So you have to say chocolate, and then you get anything about food. Well, that's the thing about speaking. Most people are afraid to speak in public, but the truth is, Deborah, people are not afraid to speak in public. Being a professional speaker for 23 years, I have 3 degrees, I have 5 certifications, I've been a professor at UTC for almost 10 years, and I had the honor of speaking all over the world. People are not afraid to speak in public because you talk all the time. The truth is, the people are not afraid to speak in public, but they are afraid of being judged in public, Deborah. They're afraid of being ridiculed. They're afraid of being seen as less than their professional best. That's the true fear. And if people can overcome that fear, we're better interviewers. If you look at marriages and people who get fired from jobs, and you look at issues with kids, the number one issue, communication, communication, communication. Well, the problem is you don't even know what you're trying to say, so it comes out crappy. So don't blame them if they get mad. You said it wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, don't blame. Hey, they heard it. Hey, you said the words. What are you mad at them for? You said it.
So what kind of advice do you give people, especially someone like me who is an introvert and more of an intellectual than someone who would be a stage presence?
Understandable. For someone, I always recommend the following things, Deborah. There are 9 dynamics that we all have to encapsulate to improve our public speaking skills. The flaw is most people do probably on average 3 or 4 of these great, of these 9 dynamics. But then the rest of them, they're oblivious of it. For example, someone like yourself, you will have just a natural propensity to prepare. You will do your research, Deborah. You will look up articles, files, graphs, charts. You are waiting for someone to ask you a question. You'll get mad if nobody asks you a question because you have a chance to dispel all your knowledge. You will show up prepared. You will be so ready on stage that it will be laughable if you aren't awesome. That's how good you are at your preparation. What the thing that you might need, Deborah, is I recommend that you incorporate what I call the implementation portion of you've got to give your speech out loud and record yourself so you can hear how you come across. That's the key.
Oh my goodness. You know, the first time I did that, it wasn't me who did it, so it wasn't voluntary. And I not only heard the recording, but they videotaped it. I thought I'd die.
Yes, and then you got to get over that when you say as an introvert, Deborah, the reason you almost died is because you are too critical. And whether you are an introvert or an extrovert, everybody, Deborah, they need to show up and give their speech, their full speech. They need to videotape it and they need to play it back. And I know your listeners are going to say, oh, when I hear my voice, they think, oh, I sound like that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do sound like that. But here's the thing. Here's the bottom line, Deborah. Everybody already else knows you sound like that. It's just an awakening to you. Everybody else already knew. You're the only one catching up. Oh, sugar. You got to be able to be comfortable with how you sound. And a lot of that means when you give your speech, Deborah, whether you're the whether you give your speech for the first time or the last time, or whether you know your content, you cannot make the first time you give your speech the first time you give your speech. When you give your speech for real, that needs to be maybe the 11th or the 14th time you're giving your speech. That way, if you lose your place, you can skip past that. If you lose your train of thought, you look into the audience and somebody is texting on their phone or looking down at their watch, or if you say something that you think is funny and they don't laugh, you keep on going. That only happens if you're giving your speech so many times that you're comfortable with your voice. You're comfortable with your hand gestures. You're comfortable with how you look and how you sound. Because when you're comfortable, you lose an element of, I hope they like it. Screw them. You know you came prepared. If they don't like it, that's on them. But do a good job anyway. Most of us are so paranoid that if somebody doesn't like what we say, that they just, you know what? It's almost like you get pulled over by the police and you're driving 80 miles per hour and the speed limit is 70. And the cop said the speed limit, ma'am, is 70. Well, you hurt my feelings. The speed limit doesn't change because your feelings get hurt. The facts are the facts. So when you get up on stage, it doesn't matter if they like it or dislike it. Is what you're saying helping them? And is it genuine? Is it ethical? And is it professional? And if it is, that increases your comfort level. So don't worry about not sounding good or not sounding polished. Worry about making sure that you're comfortable first.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
I don't believe it's so hard, Deborah. I don't know if this is what your normal interviews are like, but I hope I'm on the right page.
I love it. Absolutely. It is wonderful to hear the genuine Vincent Ivan Phipps go for it.
Sugar, you are awesome, Deborah.
I wanted people to hear you and to understand how amazing your work is, that is not a one-size-fits-all, and that you have so much experience behind it, and you are passionate, truly passionate,
yes, ma'am,
about helping people do these presentations. And so many people have benefited from your assistance. And
it's an honor.
Thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Yes. Anyone that wants to improve their presentation skills, I have 2 tips for them. Number one, if you're listening to Deborah's message right now on the American Diversity Report, the first thing is if you are anywhere in the Southeast United States, you know, the Georgias, the Alabamas, the Mississippis, the Tennessee, the Floridian. Well, Florida doesn't count. They're just Florida. But any place else in the Southeast, one of the things you have to stop doing is saying the word is one of those fillers that makes you look and sound less than your professional best. So if you're one of those people that uses as an intellectual play saver to give you time to think of words, you want to pause 2 to 3 seconds and think about what you want to say, because our brain processes words at about 500 words per minute, yet we only speak at about 150. Therefore, if you pause just a few seconds, you give yourself time to formulate the words and you reduce those ums. Also, if you are negotiating, especially for my female listeners, because I am a proud husband of 10 years, I have a 21-year-old daughter, and I was raised by some butt-kicking women. And for all of the women, sugar. I got some strong women in my life. If you are a female and you are in a position of authority or you want to boost your own professional credibility, you got to stop saying the word basically and probably. Because this, at a subconscious level, supplants an element of doubt. So if a person asks you, will you have this done by 8 p.m.? And you go, probably, they doubt you. If they say, is this the decision you feel strongly about? And you go, well, basically, there's an element of doubt. If it's basically, just say yes. If it's probably, give data to quantify with numerical data. So don't say I'll get it to you as soon as I can probably. Say you'll have it by the 15th at 5 p.m. or sooner. And you have to take out the breathiness of your voice. So if it's a yes, don't go, yes, because that sounds soft. Say yes. That way you look and sound polished, poised, and professional.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, you're such a fast learner, Deborah. Oh, you're so smart. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Will you, by telling us where, oops, sorry about the telling us.
But you caught it though, Deborah. You caught it. Keep going.
I caught it. Where we can see more of you. What is your website URL?
Absolutely. I have 3 websites. The first is my company, which is communication, no S, communicationvip.com.
Mm-hmm.
They can also just type in my name at vincentphipps.com, or they can go to noums.com. All of them will take you. So it's communicationvip.com, vincentphipps.com, or noums.com. If you click on my website, there's a link that says events or calendar. And anywhere in the city or anywhere in the world, they will know where I'm speaking, and they can click on that link and contact me. I'm on all social media streams. So whichever one you use, whether it's Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, I'm on them all. So please like me or connect with me or follow me. I send out motivational videos through my YouTube and Facebook streams at least 2 or 3 times a month, so they can follow me there. They can email me directly at vincent@communicationvip.com. Or if you are 35 and older and know how to talk to people without through social media, I even have a phone number, Deborah, and they can call me at 423-485-3465, and I'm a communication coach. So if you leave a voicemail, even on the voicemail, it will say, if you want to stop sounding dumb, stop saying
If I remember correctly, you even have that on your license plate, do you not?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So if you see the car going down the street with no honk your horn, and that's me.
I love it. I love it. Well, audience, you have learned a great deal today, and you have a great resource in Vincent Ivan Phipps. So if you would like some help, you know how to get it. Divine help, I think, regardless of your style, your personality, your profession, Vincent can assist you. So thank you so much, Vincent, for being with us today. And thank you, audience, for being here too. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again soon.